Here we have native basil. It has a lovely earthy basil smell to it. Here we have the lemon myrtle. It's a leaf. This is some of the range in the Outback Café produce. This is all indigenous food that I've been cooking with for a long time. It's only become trendy over the last, 4 to 5 years. This is the sea parsley, very salty, has that lovely smell to it, very earthy, but the texture, it's like parsley. Our indigenous flavours are the true cuisine of this country. It's not a meat pie and a Foster's, and it's not a prawn on a barbie. It's this stuff which is very, very unique. Here we have the river mint, grows along the river systems of Australia, good for desserts, sauces, chutneys, a lovely minty, almost spearminty, minty smell to it. All of this stuff is being grown by the communities. It's being processed and it's being packaged under the Outback Café brand. We've got 20 communities growing all of this stuff. It keeps a lot of the communities together, it keeps a lot of the young ones employed, the money goes back into their communities, growing things like the warrigal greens. And because a lot of these herbs and spices are indigenous to Australia, this stuff was growing before even white men came here. So it's good for the land because it always grew there, and it's sustainable to different communities. They don't have to work so hard to grow this stuff because they've been growing in these areas forever. Things like the bush tomato doesn't need much water, but it does need an arid climate, so you find those on the fringes of the desert. Things like the river mint needs water, so you find them along the coastal communities. Believe it or not, the first Aboriginal chef that's ever been on telly is me. Now look, what I've got here is just a basic salad. It's a good way to introduce yourself to this produce. I really encourage people not putting too much else in with it, so the flavours do lend themselves to your taste buds. The other exciting thing about this food too, it is a healthy food source. The natural sugars and things that are found in the fruits, things like the Muntrie berries, which are a cross between, you would say, a Granny Smith apple and a cinnamon stick. Now, a very basic dressing. We have things now like olive oils that have been infused with mountain peppers and the lemon Myrtle. This has been infused with the bush herbs, things like the Wattleseed and the mountain pepper. Just a little bit of balsamic to give it that bite. We'll add a little bit of the sea parsley to this. Add some of the wattle seed. The thing that's exciting about this food is people have tasted these flavours somewhere before. Things like the aniseed myrtle, which tastes like licorice. Things like the lemon myrtle, it just tastes like a lemon. These are exciting foods that you can incorporate into things that you've never even thought of before. We've got some of the Kutjera powder there as well. Who would think about putting licorice into a salad dressing or something like that? Now, if you let that sit for about 10 minutes, those flavours will swell. Once these fruits start to swell, they start releasing their flavours. Okay, this has been about 10 minutes. It's the herbs are swollen a bit, as you can see. Yummy flavours of the actual tomato and the wattle seed together. Very simple, very basic. Just drizzle that over a little bit. And the important thing is, don't flood your dressings or your sauces with things like garlic and overpowering herbs, because it does take away the flavour of what you're trying to create. Okay, now we have a few different sauces. This is the red quandong sauce, rich in vitamin C. Here we have the Kutjera powder, which has been made into, well, our answer to tomato sauce, which is bush barbecue relish. I've been using this stuff for over 20 odd years, and I mean, back then I was doing raids at the national park with people's front yards, or climbing a fence to get some lemon myrtle. That's the big leap that we've come to now. We've come to this, where it's accessible in the supermarkets.